Salutations, everybody. This is Ra. I want to speak on two things that really mean a lot to me. I can't lie. Cannot tell a lie. Wrestling and hip hop, and I'll do it alphabetically. Hip hop. I have been enamored with hip hop since 1995, 1990. 1994 is fair enough to say. Started with my brothers listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony and Snoop Dogg, and then I gradually got into it. It was Coolio. I loved Gangsta's Paradise when I was like 6 years old. Um, it was definitely Snoop Dogg, and it was definitely Bone Thugs and Harmony. The magnum opus, which is an E 1999 Eternal. My favorite album by them is actually The Art of War, though. And I've always had a love for hip hop. I can't lie. I mean, I just love the entire, and that's the thing. It's not just a genre of music, but what I was about to say, it's a culture. It's a way of life. A way of life that people don't abide by. And, you know, it's the reason why a lot of people who are genuine hip hop aficionados like myself get offended when a lot of people just go into it and make it a get rich quick scheme. It's just the same thing with Common Sense and the song that he had called I Used to Love Her, where he's basically, the song was an extended metaphor, and hip hop was basically this woman that he had been crushing on, a woman he had an affinity for. So looking at it that way, it's kind of like, on the outside looking in, hip hop is that girl that you have this crush for, this affinity for, and she's with that dude that treats her like shit and only wants her because she has money and good sex and good pussy, so to speak. That's how I feel it is nowadays. It's like hip hop, it has some people that really love it, but they're not getting the opportunity to grace the stage. You know what I mean? They're not getting the clout that a lot of the guys who just are in it for the money and that's it are getting, but I love hip hop, I'm enamored with it. It plays an integral role in my daily life. There's this one website I go to every day, Hip Hop DX, and this is where I consume most of my newer hip hop songs for, because a lot of people say I'm out of touch, I'm old school, and it's okay to be old school, but don't be out of touch. Me, I like old school hip hop, but I like some newer guys too. I mean, some of my favorite rappers, I did a video prior to this one on my CD collection, and it had, if you look at it, or if you saw it, it had virtually every Nas CD to date. And it will have Life is Good once that releases next month in July. But, I like some of my favorite old school artists are Rakim, AZ. Necro is kind of a veteran in the game right now, so Necro. Biggie, of course. Outkast. I guess you could say Little Brother. I think they're kind of veterans. I mean, they've been in the game since about 2001, 2002. Who else? Guru and Gang Starr, of course. But, I say of course too much, but some of the newer guys I like the newer guys too. I like John Connor, I like Kendrick Lamar, I like J. Cole, I like Danny Brown, I like Action Bronson, I like Rex, I like Joey Badass. I just got into his music. I want to say as recently as the last week I heard a song by him called Daily Routine, and then I heard another song by him that I liked called it's on the 1999 mixtape. It's called Don't Front, and I'm gonna download the entire mixtape, I believe, tomorrow morning before I go to school, because I see a lot of potential in his verses and the way his flow and his storytelling. I mean, I'm not saying he's the next Nas. I'm not heralding him that he's the next Joey Badass. I'm not saying that he's better than Nas or anything about saying that, but I'm saying a lot of these guys, just don't compare them to legends and stuff. Just respect them and just appreciate them as is, because some of these people are great and have the ability to become legends in their own right. Nas is a legend, but this Joey Badass guy has some potential. If you're watching this video, I recommend you check out the 1999 mixtape like I'm going to, in full. So I've heard a few tracks over there. I've heard Don't Front and another song called Funky Hoes and Snakes. That's 3 tracks on there already that I like, so I'm just gonna wind up listening to the mixtape in whole. And if any of you follow me on Twitter, I'm making the same prophecy I made about that CD as I made with Section 80. Section 80, last year, I heard a few songs of it on Hip Hop DX. And I said, I'm about a CD. I bought it July 10th, and I was very, very appeased by the purchase. It was a great CD that lasted me throughout the whole summer. I still listen to it every now and then. That and Scientific CDs, Criminal and Most Blunt I got into last year. Scientific, rest in peace. Story of what could have been, just like Big L. But yeah, I'm making the same kind of prophecy with watching The Simpsons. I'm making the same kind of prophecy with Joey Badass's 1999 mixtape, and that it may become my album of the summer because it's sounding very good thus far. But yeah, I like some of the newer guys. I love some of the older guys. I'm very eclectic when it comes to music in general, but hip hop is just my main genre. Over R&B, over classical, over wrestling things, over video game things, over rock and roll, metal, you know. On the rock and roll tip, grunge wise, I love Nirvana. They may be my favorite band overall, but yeah, oh, Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man doesn't look too bad. Commercials for it on TV. But I digress. Hip-hop just is a part of me. I mean, I said a line in one of my songs, hip-hop is my lifeblood, because I feel like it's that important to me. I need hip-hop in my life. And I go to Hip Hop DX every day. I listen to the songs that are, you know, out. I download them. I consolidate. Okay, I don't like this. Let's keep that. And then I put it on a CD or something like that, or put it on my iPod. But I need hip hop in my life. There are some great songs out there. And as an aspiring musician myself, it's good to, you know, take notice and keep up with what's out, so I won't come out with something that's already been done and now I'm belaboring their point. So yeah, I mean, that's just the thing. I mean, I could not live in a mute, you know, I could not live in the world, this world, deaf. You know, I have to have music, specifically hip hop. I need to hear it because, I mean, it's very meaningful to me. I mean, I'm not one of those people who just know. I mean, like I've said, I know some of the older school artists. I know my history too. Like one of the first female rappers who had this kind of like lascivious, prurient way of rapping before Lil' Kim and Nicki Minaj and Trina and a lot of these other female artists. It was Choice, and it may have been somebody to predate Choice. She was with Rap A Lot, I believe, and Willie D dissed the shit out of her because she dissed him, and they was on the same label, I believe. So, but she was doing that like lascivious rapping shit before they were. So I'm a hip hop historian. You know, I know about the 4 elements: the DJing, the MCing, the graffiti, the b-boying. I know that. I know about the nigga twins. I mean, I got a book on hip hop, and I've read it. So, I mean, it's just got a place in my heart and my way of contributing to it, and you will see that soon. I'm still shuffling thoughts on what to do with my music and what to bring out and how to go about bringing it out. So that's why I've only put like acapellas and me freestyling or me reciting what I've wrote on here, because I just have no direction, honestly, right now. I mean, I don't even have any way to distribute my shit. I mean, you want to be a musician, not only should you be musically sophisticated and know about your legends, your Michael Jacksons, your Chers, your Madonnas. If you're a rapper, your Rakims, your Biggies, your Nas's, your Pacs, your Big L's, your Big Puns, your Wu-Tang clans and stuff like that, who I would call the Beatles of hip hop. Your Bone Thugs and Harmony. Not only should you be musically sophisticated and erudite about your genre, but you gotta have a plan as well as an itinerary. Plan and itinerary pretty much the same, but kind of like map it out. So it's like I just can't have YouTube be my outlet for my music when I'm posting it and my freestyles. I need to go to these poetry jams and rock it and just show and prove, just put on a clinic, because I know I have what it takes as well as what it has not been given. You know how they say you have what it takes? Well, I know I have what it takes, but I have also what the game has not been given. So I just need to find other outlets besides YouTube. Maybe, passing my CD around or something like that. But I need the distribution, money, for copyrighted material and stuff like that, beats. So, yeah, I plan on contributing to hip-hop. I want to be amongst the list. I have high aspirations. I'm not in this. I'm not coming to hip-hop, or I'm not using hip-hop. Like I said earlier in this video, I said an analogy about hip-hop being a female. And, it's kind of like I'm this guy who's enamored by this beautiful, polka-tootinous, statuesque, just comely creature. And I see her being used and manipulated and just treated like dog shit by this guy who only wants her because she's great at coitus. And she has money. She's only good for the quick buck. Well, Ra is in it to become a legend. When you think of some of the greatest musicians in hip-hop, some of the greatest composers, I want to be amongst that list. Now, I don't have to be the best because that's really a matter of subjectivity. If you think I'm the best, then that's up to you. Just like me, I think, I had most of the CDs in my previous video were Nas. That's because Nas is my favorite rapper, lyricist of all time. Before, Guru, before Tupac. Not to take anything away from them, because but that's why Nas is not my not just my favorite rapper. Like, I have other favorite rappers, but Nas just is number one. So it's like, shit, what was I trying to say? Damn, I lost my point. That's fucked up. But, yeah, I mean, I want to be, what I was saying was like, it doesn't necessarily have to, I don't necessarily have to be the best, because like I said, there's a lot of people good in their own right. So I don't think there could ever be an undisputed best rapper. I mean, you got people like LL Cool J who made his contributions. You have people, the groups like the Run DMC, they had the first gold and platinum records. You have people like Tupac who had the first double disc CD. Then you had, I mean, everybody's contributed in their own way, and I want to contribute because I like to call myself the Concepticon, concept icon, kind of like, Transformers. And I want to have like all these brilliant concepts introduced to the game, and just be known as one of the most conceptual, thought-provoking, loving, kind, most philanthropic rappers there ever were. I already have my blueprint, and that will be divulged this year. I'm not going to say a month, I'm not going to say a day, but this year it's time for me to take my Second Amendment, take my gun, and not aim it at a person, but aim it at the glass ceiling. Shoot that sumbitch down, because I know I have what it takes. And that's why I love hip-hop. Because hip-hop has gave so much to me in times of despair, And when I had these throes of despair, what did I do? I listened to hip hop records, and they made me escape that torment, the despair, that affliction, that objection that I was in. Because that's what it does. It takes you away. It makes you feel like you're in a paradisiacal place when you're really in a bedlam. That's how great it is. And that's what music is supposed to do. But specifically, that's what hip hop has done for me. So, as a lyricist, that's all I want to do is I want to contribute to hip hop. I want to make hip hop beautiful again. I want to make hip hop euphonious again. I want hip hop to be looked upon just like the classical music is, which is probably like, you could probably see the big ass, bulbous, voluminous chip on my shoulder with that kind of goal. But I will do it, and I thrive over people saying that I can't do it, because that makes me feel like, okay, well, you said I couldn't do it. Watch this. This is what I need you to do, though. The doubter, the person who said that I couldn't do it, the person that I'm approved to be a sleeper to, because a sleeper is an unexpected achiever. And everybody in this world is a sleeper, because everybody has infidels, people who don't believe in just them, you know. But an infidel is really somebody that doesn't believe in a God, but or atheist. But that notwithstanding, the person who says I can't do it, I just want them to stand by diligently. Just stand by, pay attention, be calm, halcyon, and observe, and watch me do it. Don't interrupt me. Do not impede. Do not interlope. Not one iota. As I show you that I can do it. Because, like I said, hip-hop is paved and made a... Well, not paved, but contributed a lot to me in times of despair, and I must give back to it. I've always been like that. Just like with this YouTube stuff. I've uploaded songs. I've always downloaded songs on here. So I've uploaded songs. Give back. I always will be one of those people. I felt like if you looked out for me, it's a mandate that I look back out for you. You know what I mean? If I can. So yeah, that's the hip hop portion of hip hop and wrestling. Wrestling is another thing that's dear to me. Another goal of mine, which, like I said, you could probably, well, I don't know if I said this in one of my videos, but you could probably tell that I'm a small guy, small frame guy. But I'll touch on my wrestling aspirations in the wrestling vid. This is one of two vids. This one being the hip hop component. The other one will be the wrestling. So this concludes the hip hop portion of hip hop and wrestling. And I want to thank you all who ever watched. I don't get many viewers, but I appreciate every view I've ever gotten, and I appreciate everybody who's ever watched any of my videos. So with that being said, thank you. Have a great day.